Peace, love, and light, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. I'm Mumeanha. This is the Divine Feminine Friday Fire Day reading. This is for the collective, so only take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is all energy. You might be here because you're trying to figure out what's going on with your Divine Feminine. You may be the Divine Feminine and you're seeking some guidance right now, some clarity. Either way, I'm picking up on probably like 5 to 7 different groups of feminine energies here, so you could fit upon any of them or within any of them. All right, we're going to dive right into this because we also have some detailed messages to get into, but we have to break down this core first. So the first thing off the bat is we have the heartbreak card. Some of you are just getting over some heartbreak. You're just getting over a rough time, a rough patch in life. This, for some of you, is love. For some of you, it was actually family related. But a huge majority of you, the heartbreak that you're getting over involves your partner. It actually involves your divine masculine. I feel like some of you might have actually dated your divine masculine a few years ago, and I feel like some of you may be dealing with that person now, but for some reason the connection isn't totally in sync, and we're going to break down why that is as we go into it, as the energy lets me know what's happening. But you've been working on yourself. You've been working to come out of that heartbreak so that you can be open to receive. You know, you're really ready to just like, okay, I'm just going to hold my arms out wide. I don't want to be closed off anymore. I don't want to be withdrawn. I don't like this funky heartbreak, sad, depressed feeling. I just want to let it go. And the way that you found out to do this is by learning how to step into your higher self, tapping into your divine feminine energy. So for some of you, if you always struggled with believing that you were sexy enough or good enough or feminine enough, whatever it may be, you're starting to really embrace that side of yourself. You're starting to also become a lot more spiritual, a lot more open. Some of you lacked confidence. Others, you struggled with it. Like some days you could be pretty confident, other days you couldn't. You're learning how to just accept your natural beauty. And that leads to confidence. You're starting to notice the superhero that you are. You know, you've survived a lot of struggles and a lot of situations and things like that. You're noticing just how strong of a woman that you are, because for some of you, that's what the issue was. You didn't feel feminine enough. You didn't feel sexy enough, and you're starting to embrace that side of you. However, because you're tapping into that higher energy, because you're on this spirit journey, this enlightenment journey, you're growing impatient. The reason you're growing impatient is because you're noticing the synchronicities, all right? Through numbers, through songs, through words, you know, like this person's name keeps popping up. Some of you don't know who your partner is, but you have a feeling that they're around you somewhere. You have a feeling that they're near. You just don't know when they're going to approach or when you're going to bump into them. But the signs keep leading you to, you might have come across some of these readings before, and you've heard people say, this person's coming or this person's near you, and you're like, where they at? You know, like I don't see them yet. So that is for a smaller group of you. But for some of you, you're either on and off with this person, or you've dated this person a while ago and they might be coming back in your life, and you're like, okay, all these signs are leading to them, but nothing's happening yet, or nothing has really changed and evolved yet. We have the soulmate card here. So this does involve your twin flame, your soulmate. Now, mind you, twin flames and soulmates can be two different things, but I do get the feeling that this is a sacred union, that it's an intense sacred union, that you and this person can tend to mirror each other, right? And we have signs, which was confirming, this is here to confirm what you've been picking up on. If you're resonating with a huge majority of this right now, and this is feeling like yet another sign, well, you literally have the signs card saying yes, but you don't know what to do. I feel like some of you might be trying to go about this connection all wrong, and you're noticing it. You don't feel comfortable with whatever it is that's happening, and so you're looking for guidance. And some of you are just looking for guidance because this is all new to you. These terms, soulmate, twin flame, it's all new to you. And so you're going to anyone that you feel has the wisdom to help you. You've talked to friends about it. You've talked to family about it. You've been tapping into your higher self, and you recognize those synchronicities and signs are coming from your higher self and from the divine, but you don't know how to translate all of them. So that's why you're seeking some guidance. You know that you have the power to manifest. You know that, and you want to manifest this connection because you really feel open. You know, you might not have been open about it before. You might have struggled with being open before. And now that you are, you see how her arms are once again like opening out, and she's like emerging out of this smoke with this sensual confidence. Like you really want to manifest your wishes. Keep in mind that your thoughts and actions contribute to what it is you will manifest. And I feel a lot of you know that. And that's why you're looking for deeper guidance and knowledge, because you don't want to bring anything in that's not worth your time or for your highest good. Now we're going to get into the Love and Lust Oracle by Fire Witch Tarot. I will start by saying from the bat, this is going to get a little bit 18 plus. Okay, so if you're not comfortable with certain images, if you're not comfortable with erotic words or anything like that, I suggest that you click off this video. But if you don't have an issue with that, we're going to dive right into it. So when it comes to this connection, off the bat, one of the first cards we have here is Bewitched by Your Mystery. Your sex caught me by surprise. I wish to receive it all again. An erotic once upon a time. I feel like this is for some of you who this might be your ex or someone that you might have been hanging around and y'all finally got down and dirty or whatever the case may be. You finally experienced what this person is like, and now you can't get them out of your head, but you still feel like they're a mystery to you. Like you still feel as if you don't know everything you should about them. So even though the intimacy was really intense, there's something about them that feels distant. For some of you, those of you who are like, I don't know who my soulmate is, you've been dreaming about them. And when you dream about them, you're being intimate. So the mystery is you don't know who it is when you wake up, but you know it feels very real. It feels very tangible. We have, after I've tasted your lips, I want nothing more but your flavor. It's my favorite type of honey I wish to suckle on to heal my very being. This is in reference to that heartbreak. Whether it be those of you who are just coming out of it and you feel like you found someone, but you're a little afraid to go further with them. You know, like you're open to receive it, but it doesn't mean that you're not worried. Like, I don't know if I'm ready for all the intensity. I want to be with this individual. I do feel attracted, but I don't want that heartbreak in the past to get in the way. Okay, so, but at the same time, you feel like their presence, their kissing, everything about them is healing towards you. It nourishes you. We have you both crave sexual playtime, a quick pick-me-up, an erotic adrenaline rush. Okay? So this is how intense the connection feels. And this is for all of you. Whether you're dreaming about this person, whether you're seeing synchronicities and signs everywhere, sometimes those signs and synchronicities can be very erotic. So there's a little bit of an expectation here on how this union will go. Some of you, like I said, you're dealing with this person, or you have dealt with this person, so you already know. You already know what it's like. We have this card here. This card is here to tell you that your person loves it when you're in control. They like to be told what to do. Don't feel bad. It's their secret fetish. So some of you were dealing with a divine masculine that liked for you to be in control. They liked for you to take the lead, tell them what you want. Tell them what they need to do. Submissive. So some of you might have been a bit into that kind of role play where the male is more submissive and you're more like the mistress. I'm picking up the word mistress a lot. So that might have been a sex play that you like. You might have been dealing with someone, especially if this is someone from your past, you might be dealing with somebody that started to interact with someone else and then y'all started playing games with each other. But we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm not the type to tell you I love you. Instead, I show it with my actions. I want to spoil you in every way, shape, and form. Talk is cheap. Action speaks louder than words. I feel like this isn't just your divine masculine, for those of you who know who he is, or you at least can feel the vibration of who he is. But for some of you, this is y'all. Not every divine feminine is like all gumdrops and love yous and boo-boos. Sometimes it's easier to do with action than words, especially if you're talking about someone that once battled with confidence. They don't always know how to express it with words, just like sometimes divine masculines don't know how to express with words. So for some of you, this is from the feminine side. Like, I'll show you I love you before I can probably open my mouth and say I love you. And for others, you're dealing with a divine masculine, or will be dealing with a divine masculine, that his actions speak louder than his words. Not that he won't ever say it, but You'll notice it with actions probably before he actually opens his mouth and say it. Some of you know that this is definitely a divine energy you're dealing with because you put my divine king. I long for the day to sit on your throne like a divine queen. I've kept myself clean. Some of you haven't been dealing with anyone since you've started this, since you've started picking up that there's something better out there. Maybe since you've been around this divine masculine. You may not be dating them right now, but you're not allowing yourself to dabble with anyone else either. You're keeping yourself clean. This is for some of you. Some of you might still be, doing whatever, but a lot of you are like, no, I want this one thing and I'm going to hold out until I get it. Just to prove the point to the other group I was picking up, we have holding on to someone you can't have yet is painful. It's forbidden from the divine. It's tempting you to break the rules. Will you stand the test of time, give in to your desires and lusts, or will you be seduced by the challenges of absentness? And we just had a card that said, I'm keeping myself clean. So some of you might be dealing with a divine masculine that's not free right now, whether it be his time isn't free or he's dealing with someone. He hasn't completely left that situation. And some of you are starting to feel the temptation of this because you're getting closer and closer, and it's getting harder to resist. And it's probably hard for them to resist as well, especially if this is someone you dealt with before. But for some of you, I feel like you might have just come across this person. It could have been very innocent beginnings, but it's starting to get tempting. And by them still being caught up in whatever their situation is, it's hard to resist not being intimate with them. It's hard to ignore it. Some of you do have a divine masculine that's going through a lot emotionally as well as, probably physically, because emotions can affect the physical. And we have spirit asks you that you send your person loving, healing energy, no matter the current circumstances or situation. Energy travels, and what you project onto your person is a reflection of who you are. Make it magical and creative. They will feel it. Remember that manifesting card? Some of you are dealing with divine masculines. They're on their own kind of journey as well. That could be another reason some of them are coming out stuck in a situation. It could be they're stuck in a relationship because they're having a hard time gaining the strength to leave. It could be that they're not in any kind of relationship, but they're dragging their feet and being with you all the way because of everything else going on in their head and spirit. So if you energetically send them some healing, it will help. It's going to help because you do have the power of manifestation. And there's a tip. If you've been like, how do I do this the correct way? How do I do this without it being, toxic or wrong? That's one of the signs on how to. We have this person you're dealing with loves to be sexually surprised. They're infatuated with the mystery and is turned on by the secret eroticism. Move in silence. Let the passionate games begin. So for some of you who are you're already dealing with your divine masculine. You might have just started getting ready to take things to the next level. I'm noticing that you guys, a lot of y'all are with divine masculines that either like to be in the submissive role themselves where you have control, or they like being caught off guard just so they can flip the script on you later. Y'all know y'all divine masculines if you've dealt with them or are dealing with them now. You know the kind of guy that they are. This could be a secret fantasy of theirs that they want you to go further with. Maybe you've only played around with it. And we also have this tied up again, just like in the other card, the divine masculine was tied up. So this might be someone that likes bondage. Some might like a bit of rough play. Some not so much the rough play. It's more so just being tied up, like being restrained, not being able to do to you right away what they want to because you're the boss in the moment. That really gets them off. We have you make a girl fall deep in love. I got the sweetest hangover. Just one dose of you is way too much. An erotic overdose. I don't need an antidote. So yeah, this connection is like a drug. It's hypnotizing. You feel it in your dreams. You feel it in your waking hours. You're constantly thinking about this person. You can't get them off your mind. That's why you're impatient, because you're like, okay, you're always on my mind. I'm getting all these signs that it's you. What the hell? Why isn't anything really like taking off the way it has to, because even if some of you have been sexual here and there with this person, it's not yet a full-blown relationship. And if this person is dealing with someone else and you guys are resisting that temptation, or may have even slipped a few times into that temptation, that's even more of a frustration, because you're not comfortable with being the other woman. Even, and I don't feel like some of these guys, I would say maybe maybe the first group has some dudes that are kind of caught up in a situation. They're not really serious about it. Some of you are with guys that are still they're just dating around, but they put a lot of investment in you. So they're not serious with anyone else, but whenever they're around you, that's when they're their most romantic, loving, or they still hold a bit in. They're not revealing everything, but they just seem to express with you more than what they do with another person. And you've been able to pick up on that, and that makes you impatient. Like if I know, dude, you know, so what we doing? That's how you're feeling. We have enchanted romance that's meant to be protected by divinity. True love that stands the test of time. Two souls are called to come and rise. So like I said, some of you feel like twin flames. You're mirroring your person. It's a soulmate sacred connection. You're dealing with a person that all the synchronicities are leading to them because they're your divine partner. But I'm going to say this because this has to be pointed out whenever cards like this come out. Just because someone's your soulmate, just because they're your divine partner, doesn't mean that you have to put up with bull. That's not what that means. Okay? If this person feels like they're playing a game and you've tried talking about it and they push it off, it's a small portion of you that's dealing with that too. That leave. Keep working on yourself. And if they're meant to get their shit together, because you have to understand free will plays into this too. They have to have the free will and the determination to be worthy of you, just like you have to be worthy of them. And if they can't get that ball rolling, you're not meant to just stay stuck in some weird love triangle or in some back and forth or on and off situation just because they're supposed to be your soulmate. Someone else that's worth your time will come across and fill that position. That's why we have so many soulmates. We don't have a bunch of twin flames. We have one twin flame, but we have so many soulmates because when these twin flames don't know how to get their ish together, they don't know how to take a journey themselves into becoming something great, they're not for our greatest purpose anymore. And the universe refuses to leave you burdened or leave you, stuck. Twin flames are people you made this, they're another part of you, and you made this pact to be together in another life, but each life you have free will. We have, I can't get you out of my, I can't get you out of my head. No, I can't get out of my head. Sorry. Can't get out of my head about you. The pain of not knowing where we stand eats at me every second of every day. Remember how some of you are dealing with people that being with them feels like a temptation, or you're dealing with somebody that you were once with in the past, and your breakup, either it was heartbreaking then, and it carried over. It's just now that these synchronicities are popping up, that heartbreak's coming back. Or you might have been with this person for a while and you broke up within the last couple of months to a year, and everything's rushing back now that all these signs are coming out. They're on your mind all the time, but your ending may have not been what you wanted it to be. And if they're in a situation where they can't just come running to you, then that's a painful thing. And it's like, what is that pain going to do? Are you going to be able to keep yourself, as you said, sacred and clean and not dabble in anything you shouldn't be? Or are you going to fall into temptation? I feel like some of you might have already slipped already with your with this partner. We have, I'm seduced by your energy. I'm addicted to your vibes. I feel a strong magnetic pull towards you. Our chemistry I can't deny. There's a lot of sexual chemistry here. There's a lot of soul chemistry here. You feel these people so deep, whether they're physical with you or not. You have the kind of vibe where both of you are able to just feel when the other one's in the room. And for those of you who have not met your divine masculine yet, you're definitely feeling that. You kind of feel like there's this just energy around you. That's the best way to say it. It just feels like it's someone that you know, even though you can't picture a face per se. We have, I let my pride get in the way of my love for you and acted like it was nothing, but really my heart was breaking. I have heartbreak. My heart was breaking and I did nothing to stop it. as I said earlier, some of you left this union with this person. Something happened in life and you felt like you couldn't take it. You couldn't be all that you were meant to be. Maybe it was because of that lack of confidence. Even though this person probably treated you like the sun, the moon, and the stars, something in you just didn't feel right and you felt like you were weighing that person down, so you left them, and that was not an easy breakup. Especially for that person, for that divine masculine. He didn't handle that breakup well at all. And now you're realizing, like, damn, everything's leading back to you. Again, take what resonates. We have, I know this love that we have isn't just ordinary, it's unique in its own mysterious way. Again, a very mysterious connection. You feel like your divine masculine just has a lot of mystery and depth to him. You know, having mystery isn't always, in a lot of people, I feel, because of the secrecy of mysteries, they feel like, oh, what is he up to? What could it be? Sometimes people are mysterious because they don't feel comfortable sharing all the depths of themselves with everyone, especially if we're talking about a divine masculine that likes control play. You know, that's being vulnerable for them. That's how they know how to be vulnerable, is to allow for the partner to be in control. That's not going to be something that they do with every divine feminine. We're not talking about this from the perspective of a kink. That's not how this came off. This came off more like a divine masculine that when he's really, really in love, really craving someone, he wants to feel wanted, and he wants to feel that he can be vulnerable in that feeling want. And a part of how he knows how to express it is to allow you to be in control, allow you to dictate how things are going to go. And we're going to dive into that because now we're going to get into the Erotica Oracle, also by Fire Witch Tarot. And we're going to get into what's going on in your mind. And for those of you who might have been intimate with this person already, what's happening here. We have fantasizing, yearning for you. That, again, that you can't get the person out of your head. You can't stop seeing all the signs. You can't stop dreaming about them. We have tongue sucking. So if you've kissed your partner before, remember kiss popped up. I feel like kissing, and this is like the upteenth time I've done a reading, and kissing and lips are like a centering portion here. Some of y'all, kissing is that it does it for you. It gets the engines going. Just the kiss. This person must have, I feel like some of them have full lips. Some of them, it's not, they're like plump lips. Some of you have plump lips. Some of you have full lips. Some of you have a bigger bottom lip than a top lip, or your partner has a bigger bottom lip than top lip. Again, it's not like super thin, but that's just what I'm picking up on as far as their features are concerned. But you guys like a lot of French kissing, a lot of tongue play. We have reverse grinding. Remember, this is a divine masculine that likes you in control. And this is a control position right here. You can control how this goes when in that position. It makes it, I mean, they can do all the hair pulling and whatnot unless you got them tied up. Then they just have to take whatever you're offering. Remember I said some of these guys like to flip the script on you? We have hair pulling and rough sex. So they allow you to be in control. They allow themselves to be vulnerable with you in that moment so they can flip the script on you. And again, that excites them. That excites both of you. It gets you both in the mood. I'm also getting the sense that these are people who fantasize about you as well. These divine masculines, even if they don't fully know who you are yet, they're picking up on you intimately. So some of you might be making love in the fifth dimension. You know, a lot of divine feminines and divine masculines are tapping into that ability. You really like to please your partner. We have taste you. You like driving your partner out of their head. That's exciting to you. And it's not so much about being a control freak or being able to say, ha ha, look what I made you do. It's just, there is a sense of power in it, but you love the fact that your divine masculine is willing to be vulnerable like that with you. They're willing to let you take them to that level. Again, this isn't for everyone. Take what resonates. But yes, some of you are dealing with a person that's involved with somebody, or they're in some type of situation that they can't get out of. I don't feel that it's necessarily marriage per se, but for some of you, it might be. So whoever this is that you broke up with, and you were the person that broke it off. Or maybe you yourself, you might have been doing some stuff that you weren't supposed to do in that relationship. And it just, a lot of things went crazy in this relationship. And now it's leading to this almost like third party triangle type situation. For some of you, I get that the person's other doesn't know about you. They don't know who you are at all. They don't know that you even had a relationship with this individual. And now you're trying to resist the temptation of being that mistress. That's why that other card came out. Like, I'm trying to keep myself, I'm not dealing with anyone else, but I also kind of want to keep myself clean and not deal with you because you're caught up in a situation and you're impatient about that. But some of you have slipped. Might have been once, might have been twice, but you've slipped. And now you're trying to make sure that that doesn't happen again, because the sex with this person doesn't just feel like sex. Bottom line, it always feels like more, and that makes it harder to resist. We have shotgun pleasures, touching, fingering, getting it wet. So this is for those of you, you're with your partner, but things haven't really went completely to the next level yet, and you don't know why. You guys foreplay a lot. Whether you've went all the way, debatable, but you definitely foreplay a lot, and it kind of adds to your frustration. Yeah, we have anxiously waiting. This feels like it's for a vast majority of the group in general. All of y'all are anxiously waiting for this connection to come together. Whether it be you're anxiously waiting for him to leave whoever he's dealing with, anxiously waiting for him to realize that you're there, you ain't going nowhere, he can let himself be in a relationship. Some of your divine masculines might have been through some heartbreak prior to you. And if you're the person that gave them the heartbreak, they love you, they want to be with you, but they're nervous, they're scared. Because it did not, I'm picking up that for a lot of you, this did not end like, oh, I'm going through something in life right now and I need a break. This ended bad, and it was painful for this divine masculine. So just like you're anxiously waiting, they're kind of stuck too. Because they want it, but it's like, is she going to hurt me again? Is she going to leave? Is she going to just abandon me? I feel like some of you may have not broken up in a, I'm breaking up with you way, more like I'm just not going to talk to you no more way. We have under my spell. If you're dealing with your divine masculine, you know you got them hooked. You know that's why they like being tied up. One of the reasons. We have dripping in your mouth. So yeah, a lot of y'all have an obsession with kissing and mouth foreplay. And I mean, the strawberry's there for a reason. You might have a divine masculine that likes a lot of neck play. Your neck might be a sensitive area for you. So neck sucking is here. Some of you might be into like that vampire vibe, especially if you're into submissive roles and tie up, like the dynamic of that kind of sensuality, that almost vampiric like sensuality. We have I've come to take you in, sexual house arrest. Again, we keep picking up on these, tie him up, handcuff him. Mistress doesn't just mean, oh, an affair. No, mistress means that's their safe word or something. that's how y'all get down. You want to lock them up. You don't want to let them go nowhere. Typically, this is how men feel, or the divine masculine, because honestly, resonate with the energy that you feel, that you identify as, but y'all into some things, okay? We have dropping the sheets. Some of y'all just want it already. Again, you're foreplaying. Those of you who are with the person that just hasn't completely developed into a relationship, y'all been foreplaying, kissing, getting almost there, stopping. Getting almost to the point of stopping. You're tired of it. You're like, can we just get this over with? Because you feel that you have an unforgettable lover. Even if you haven't went all the way with them yet, and there's just been some foreplay, some kissing play, you know that you're dealing with somebody that once y'all go there, it's a wrap. For those of you dealing with an ex, you already know how y'all love making is. And if it's happened again recently, you know it's even more intense than it was the last time. But again, you're open to receive. You're open to receive. you really want to be with this person. You really want to be intimate with this person. And you're growing impatient that it feels like it's taking forever. I keep hearing, for some of you, I keep hearing, love will lead you back. Something I just know that. Or is it someday? Someday I just know that love will lead you back in my arms. Yeah, so some of y'all, this is a person you dated. This is somebody you were with. I'm hearing that same singer. I cannot think of her name right now, but I promise you guys, like I did before, I will put the songs or any numbers, any signs that come through, I put them in the description. I feel like the other song from this singer, some of you resonate or will resonate with, is Tell It to My Heart. Tell it to my heart. Tell me I'm the only one. Is this really love or just a game? Like, you guys are like, some of y'all might go back that far. You never know. Some of y'all relationships might have been like early 90s, or I pick up for some of y'all it was the early 2000s or mid 2000s. Not all, but there are a few of you here that go back that far. We're going to get into Love Messages Speaking Your Truth by Divine Moon Empress, another reader on YouTube. We have You Are Much More Beautiful Than You Know. So you're dealing with facing this fact about yourself. You're still trying to get yourself to understand just how beautiful that you truly are. You might have made some mistakes in your past. You're learning from them. You're trying not to repeat them. You're really trying to step gracefully into this confidence. And in order to do that, you got to recognize just how amazing you are. I feel like for some of you, this is something you would actually say to your divine masculine. Because you might have a divine masculine, because of the way that things broke off, they may not feel as confident about themselves, especially if this was a strong connection with you in the first runaround. Even if they're with someone else now, even if they've dated other people, have had other experiences, especially for those of you where this relationship started while you guys were young, losing you the way they lost you might have been a blow that was really hard to take, and it made them question their own confidence. So for some of you, this is to your divine masculines. But for a lot of you, this is to yourself. Like pretty much being your own hype man. We have I cannot hide my smile even when we are apart. So some of y'all like, gosh, this guy really gets in my head. I can't even act like I don't like him. I can't even act like I'm not that hooked. We have I'm afraid of commitment. For those of you who are dealing with somebody that's in another interesting party, or they're not really talking to anyone specific, but they're dating around, that makes you a bit afraid to commit. You are open to receive. You are impatient about how slow and sluggish things are moving. But every time you see this person out with someone else, and you have to remind yourself that you guys aren't yet exclusive, it makes you feel afraid to commit to them, because you're picking up that they're afraid to commit to you. You know, fear begets fear sometimes. And it makes you question all those synchronicities again. Like, why am I seeing all of this stuff if we're both pretty much running? Speaking of running, we have I run because my emotions are too intense. So those of you who are dealing with a heartbreak from before, this is a part of why you broke up. Because the connection was too intense. You felt like you had a lot of self-growth to do, and you didn't feel like you could do it with that person. So even though they were everything you could have ever wanted, they didn't do anything wrong to you, really. You ran. You felt scared. And that hurt them. It's not like some of you didn't really sit down and have a proper conversation. Shit, you might have started a fight just to break things up. And if you're the masculine, you know what this was. You know what that experience was. We have I am deeply sorry that I walked away from you. So masculines that may be watching this, I feel like some of you stalk. I feel like it's not always just divine feminines checking out these readings. It'd be some divine masculines too. If you were questioning it, if you were wondering, did they love me? Was it something I did? Like, why did she just up and leave like that? This sounds like the person I was with. She's back around, but what's going on? They're sorry that they hurt you and that they walked away, but they felt they had to because of how intense the connection was and how much they hadn't yet stepped into their own person. Some of you might have been young when this relationship started, 19, I'm hearing 18, 19, 22. Take what resonates around those age brackets. We have that smile of yours drives me crazy. So if you have a divine, I'm getting dimples, a divine masculine with dimples on either cheek, some with just one. But a very clear, it might be very specific, but a very clear image of a divine masculine with dimples popped up. So if you're the divine masculine with dimples, and it was something that she always pointed out or teased you about, then you guys know your partners. You know what traits they have. We have, I'm scared of losing you. And I just heard again, just now, I heard the whisper of again. I'm afraid of losing you again. So some of you might have had a divine masculine, leave you. Some of you that left your divine masculine, you're afraid that if you were to get them to finally let down their guard, interact with you on the level that you're asking for, that they might go, you know what? I'm gonna hurt you like you hurt me. Bounce, deuces. You're afraid of that. And the amazing thing about this is, even though you're afraid, you're still open to receive this connection. You're still willing, they put themselves out there before you're willing to do it. You just don't know if they're going to give you a chance to. Yeah, because we have please forgive me. I know that I'm popping up during a time in your life right now, masculine, where you feel like, really, woman? Now you want to pop up? All this other stuff going on in my life, you choose now to be here? I'm hearing, I'm emotional and I can't let go. I am trying to hold on to you. Some of y'all might have dated around the time that song was out. Who is that? That's Carl Thomas. Some of you might have dated when that song was out. I'm also hearing that dun 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 dun. I'm emotional. What's that? I can't believe something. It's Carl Thomas and Faith Evans. I'm hearing that song too. That might have been like around the time your breakup happened. Maybe that was like one of the songs y'all bopped to or something. It's channeling in here. And I believe it's called Can't Believe or I Can't Believe. I'll put it in the description when I find it. It's too many songs channeling in my head, and when that happens, lyrics start to run together. So we're going to get into love messages from Walu Child Readings, another reader here on YouTube. We're going to get into these oracles and see what you guys have to say to your masculines. We have, I'm not sure what I want right now. This feels like it's about the past again. So divine masculines, if you're like, I don't get it. Like, I understand she needed to grow. I understand that she needed time to herself, but like, why? Because the connection was so intense, and you guys might have either been so young or so set in a certain kind of way, she was anyway, that she couldn't take it. She actually questioned, do I really want all this intensity? Especially if we're talking about a person that they don't know anything about twin flames and soulmate connections. This was weird to her. She didn't know how to handle that. For some of you, it's because you're dealing with a person that's now with someone else, or they're talking to multiple people. So some days you're impatient because you want them and you're seeing all the signs lead to that. And then some days you're like, well, how do I know that once we start talking that they're going to leave those other people alone and just focus on me? I know the signs and the synchronicities claim it, but how do I know they're serious? Some of y'all are operating a little bit out of fear with that. We have, this is confirmation for something that came out earlier. We have sex with you is not purely physical. It's not purely a physical act. My heart and soul explodes. Those of you being intimate with your partners in the 5D, those of you that might have had your slip ups, those of you where y'all just foreplaying. I said floor. You're just foreplaying and it already feels like it's too much. Some of y'all haven't even gone all the way yet. So you know that once it goes that next route, that's it. Unforgettable lover. That was the card. I think I also said something prior to that too, but we have stop trying to control shit. This is like your higher self talking to you, divine feminines. Like, because you impatient, because of them dang synchronicities and all them signs and that wanting to manifest what you want, you're going to manifest regardless. Your thoughts manifest regardless of what actions you take and etc. The actions help to amplify it. At the same time, you can't try to control every little step and move. If you're dealing with a person who right now, their free will isn't leaning towards you for whatever reason, they're scared, they're in another committed situation, they're playing around, whatever it may be, you're not going to be able to just force them out of that. You're more likely to help them by just wishing, guidance and blessings and prayer on them. It's one thing to seek guidance and maybe even try to help your divine partner with guidance. It's another thing to want to control them. Some of you, it's about your own emotions because you're a little nervous about how this is going to go. This is all new to you. You're trying to control your emotions. Trying to hide that you're smiling and cheesing when they're around, trying to hide the effect that they're having on you. Your higher self says, stop trying to control shit. Just stop. Let stuff happen naturally. We have, I talk about you only to those who truly matter to me. So divine feminines, you know who you are. If you're dealing with, especially if you're dealing with a connection where you're interacting with the person a bit, but you're still up in the air with where you guys are, that's not something you want to share with everybody. And for those of you who you're dealing with a person that's still in other situations, you don't trust everybody to know that because you really honestly don't want to be seen as a home wrecker or anything like that. So there may be a best friend. I'm hearing sister. Some of y'all got a sister that y'all might trust that kind of thing with, but that ain't for everybody. Some of you just don't trust being open when it comes to talking about love, period, because of being hurt before or having people tell you business before. Do not get it confused. I love you and I always will. This is what you're saying to your divine masculine. For some of you, a little bit of your divine masculine's energy is coming in here a bit. So even if they're seeming scared off, it's like, I still love you. I'm just scared, because you left me before. It was no explanation. Like, you just kind of left as if I was supposed to just get it. And now I don't know how to receive you. I don't know what to do. And for a lot of you, feminine, this is you talking to your divine masculine. Don't get it confused. I love you and I always will. Like, I'm coming back. I'm more confident now. I'm working on myself. I'm not that naive person I used to be. Yep, some of y'all are definitely dealing with someone that's either in a relationship, marriage, or dealing with multiple people, because we have, if marriage was still sacred, I would gladly marry you. So some of y'all might have a divine masculine that they're trying to come out of a situation for whatever reason they're struggling. And that makes you also feel like, if you can't just totally leave the past to try to be with me, if you're so much as playing around on the other person, why should I believe that we're supposed to work out? How does that even make sense? So it's kind of making you question sacred unities and bonds. But I'm going to tell you like this. Marriage, it's not the way that you're described it has to be. Marriage isn't always perfect, but marriage is about trusting the person you're with and being open and honest with the person you're with. Because it's put in our face like it's a game, because it's put in our face like anybody can just go and do any type of painful thing, and that's not how it is. Before you guys move to that level, y'all need to really clean the slate. Really talk, speak from the heart, no holding back, no trying to sugarcoat shit. Just be honest before you move to that stage, because you might be dealing with a divine masculine that wants to get married. And if he thinks that you're afraid of it, if he thinks that your fear is going to get in the way of it, you're pushing away that connection that you're so impatient for. So before y'all take that step, a deep conversation, deep connection conversation is going to have to be had. We have, I do not know how to receive your energy. Teach me how to love and receive you. Did I not just talk about that earlier? Some of y'all really, this is so new to you. You don't, this is also for that person whose heart you broke this. And listen, not all of y'all that hurt this person is dealing with someone. Some of them are single. A lot of them are single. So I'm picking up a lot of different people. A lot of these guys are single. They just, they might have slipped and kissed you. They might have slipped and laid with you, but they're not being as open with you as they were when they were with you before. or when they were with you when y'all were younger. Because I'm feeling like some of y'all might be in your late 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s. When you dated this person, it was a long time ago. Might have been around the time those songs were out. And they're like, yeah, back then you had my whole heart and everything, and you shitted on it. So I'm kind of like holding back a bit. I'm trying, like that's what I'm hearing. Like I'm trying, but I'm holding back a bit. And for you, it's like, oh, okay, but I don't know how to receive all of this. I'm open to it. I want to, but I don't quite know how to. And in order to figure out how to, you got to be a bit more open with me. Like y'all both have to face your fears in that moment. Okay? We have I ask around about you, mutual friends, psychics. Y'all know why y'all on this video. Okay? Be you the masculine, be you the feminine. You know why you're on this video. And you just outed yourself. And that goes right back into that card of I only speak to important people or people I trust. So if you trust, a psychic, if you trust certain friends, remember I said before, I heard sister, some of you have a sister that you trust. You're trying to really figure this out. Some of them might have been what helped you. The guidance card is out here, right? So some of you might have been told, hey, why don't you check out like some YouTube reading videos or something. We have, unfortunately, I realized that I did not see your worth at first. So masculine, she didn't see your worth at first. And that doesn't mean that you didn't seem worthy at the time. It's just all of this deep bond connection. Some of you were dealing with divine feminines. And some of you are same-sex relationships. I'm picking up. Some of you are same-sex. But because that person wasn't yet completely they didn't understand themselves, they didn't get it. You might have been a very deep person, or you had a divine masculine that was a very deep person. They loved deeply. They loved, and you just couldn't get that. It was like, what kind of fairy tale? You doing too much. Like that's what you thought at the time. And now, after the separation, after going through however many breakups with other people, or even them, you're starting to realize, damn, that person was the way they felt. Like this must have been how they felt. We have, I'm not interested in anyone else. This person is all you want. And this person only wants you as well. And I feel like this is the majority of the group. Y'all don't want no one else. I'm not really picking up on anyone not wanting this person that they see as their divine masculine. Because sometimes you get people who be like, that's my divine. What? I couldn't stand him. I'm not picking up that in this group. We have, I want to talk to you. I want to see you. That goes back into that anxiousness that, for some of you, you won't do it because you're trying to resist temptation, or your person hasn't come to you yet because they're like, look, I'm cool with maybe like talking with you on the phone, but if me and you get in a room together, it's going down. You really want to talk to this person? I feel like this card is for a lot of you that are playing hard to get. You're playing hard to get for no reason. like there's no reason. For those of you who are trying to make up, you feel like your partner is your home. I'm hearing that soon as I get home, I'll make it up to you. Baby, I do what I gotta do. So some of y'all are willing to do whatever you have to do to get this connection where it needs to be. If that means, getting guidance, if that means soul searching, whatever it is, you're willing to do it just to prove to this person, I'm not going to hurt you no more. I'm not going to leave you. And I'm, like I said, some of you have divine masculines that are really scared. They love you. They want you. They're just scared. And that's our reading, guys. I'm hoping that gave y'all some clarity on your situation, that you're able to get some answers out of that. Please let me know in the comments below if anything resonated with you. Peace, love, and light.